Yesterday, the long overdue antitrust case of my alma mater, the Antitrust Division of the Department of Justice, was brought against Google. Now, there are a number of reasons for this, notwithstanding the fact that social media has been discriminating against conservatives and censoring, is the fact that Google has abused its dominant position, it's monopolized the market, and deserves to be broken up. Of course, the Antitrust Division played it political, unfortunately, under blowhard Bill Attorney General, and is not asking to break up the monopoly as I did and others did in the 1970s when we broke up the AT&T monopoly, when I was part of the trial team that did that at the U.S. Department of Justice. But understand, there's always a dynamic in Washington. And the dynamic here and the motive here is for the Attorney General to take the heat off himself when the president asks him to begin a real investigation of the Ukrainian shakedown scam, the racketeering enterprise of Joe Biden and his son, Hunter Biden. It's basically to let off the pressure, and that's what it is. And the lawsuit falls far short. You know, many, many months ago, actually years ago, I brought an antitrust case for Freedom Watch, along with my valiant client, Laura Loomer, who's been shut off of all the social media, in the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia. Of course, a judge, believe it or not, a Trump-appointed judge, McFadden, dismissed that case. I took it up to the D.C. Circuit, very leftist circuit. They wrote a decision which a first-year law student could have written probably in 2 hours. It was just a few pages, and they affirmed it, and the matter is now going up to the U.S. Supreme Court. That was a case which sought to break up the social media companies, not just Google, but all of them. Not just Google, YouTube, but Apple, Facebook, Instagram, the whole lot of them, Twitter. I will be intervening on behalf of Freedom Watch in this government's lawsuit and urging the court not to give the meaningless relief which the Antitrust Division under blowhard Bill is requesting, but to break up Google. And we will be pursuing our case in the Supreme Court and other fora against the social media companies. And this tells you what Freedom Watch and I do, notwithstanding the other group which we just founded, americasheriff.org, with Sheriff Joe Arpaio and that brave African-American policeman, Demetric Penny, is that we take action. We just don't get documents like my former group does, mostly. I mean, sometimes they bring a case, but it's not very often. We bring hard-hitting cases and citizens' grand juries to try to wage a peaceful and legal revolution. And this is why I want you to go out and get my book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. It's coming out this Tuesday, just a week before the election, but it's not geared on the election. Because whoever wins the next election, this country will continue its downward slide, and we're already at rock bottom right now. We need to rise up, as our founding fathers did, and in particular Thomas Jefferson, who I dedicate the book to, and ourselves mete out justice peacefully and legally, like Wyatt Earp did in the Old West. This is something which is incumbent right now because our federal judges have become the tools of establishment Republican hacks who got them their jobs. How do federal judges get their jobs? Through campaign contributions, through grease, through special interests, putting them on the bench so they'll have their yes men, much like the yes men of King George III in the days leading up to our first revolution. And that is why I want you to go out and read this book. It's different than any other book. It's different from the books written by Sean Hannity or a book that now just came out by Tom Fitton, which most likely was ghost written. It's a book which talks about making change, not just complaining about what went on in the last 4 years with Obamagate or anything else, and then ask the government to do our job. In the case of Hannity, he says, just vote for Trump and all will be okay. Just keep watching my show. Vote for Trump. That's it. We all know that's not the case. This country has a cancer which is growing, and it's reached a critical point. It's metastasized into stage 4. And we, the people, need to take action ourselves. I want you to get that book because it tells you how we should attempt to do it peacefully and legally. And if that doesn't work, then I'm sorry to say that the prophecy of Thomas Jefferson will probably come true, that there will be the blood of patriots shed. I will not advocate that, but others will. And clearly, people will likely be in the streets on or about November 3rd in either event, and this could trigger a major and bloody revolution. And I trust that will not happen, and I'm trying to prevent that. So go out and get my book. It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. Go to freedomwatchusa.org. Sign up for our citizens' class actions against the Chi-Coms. Who else is doing it but Freedom Watch? Or our criminal case in The Hague, Holland, against the Chi-Coms for destroying this country and most of the world. And support our cases against social media and our other lawsuits for our valiant clients. You won't see our clients on Fox News because they actually do something. They're not there just to occupy space and to be politically correct and to boost advertising dollars. They actually are doers. And because of that, they're attacked. They're made radioactive by the leftist media. Freedom Watch has a leftist media strike force. Join that. Join some cause. Get up off the couch. Turn off Fox News. Put down books that don't advocate other than regurgitating what's happened. And read my book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. You can get it at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, BooksAMillion.com, at all major booksellers. It's completely different than anything else that you will read. I'm not trying to profit off of the election. I'm trying to change this country and put it back to the vision and concept of our founding fathers. God bless you. God bless America. God save America. Remember that God is with us. And thank you for listening to me. I'll be back tomorrow with another podcast of Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman. Until then, thank you for listening to me.
Nuestras familias están sufriendo. Desde que Trump asumió la presidencia, nuestros bolsillos y sueños están rotos. El índice de desempleo para los latinos ha sobrepasado el 15%. Pero está en nuestras manos el reconstruir nuestra economía y nuestros sueños para salir adelante juntos. Joe Biden tiene la experiencia necesaria para sacarnos de esta recesión y crear una economía que funcione para todos, como lo hizo junto al presidente Obama. Joe Biden fue uno de los creadores de DACA y no permitirá que continúe la inhumana separación de familias. Su plan económico incluye la creación de trabajos con salarios dignos, programas para que más de nuestros hijos se gradúen y nuestras familias tengan acceso a la salud. Así que estas elecciones, vota. Este año tendrás la oportunidad de hacerlo desde tu casa. Si votaste en las elecciones pasadas, recibirás una boleta en casa, la cual podrás enviar a través del correo. Pero si no has votado anteriormente o cambiaste de domicilio, regístrate o actualiza tu registro de votante. Es muy fácil. Puedes hacerlo visitando registertovotnb.gov. Regístrate y vota, porque tú tienes el poder de elegir a quien nos ayudará a reconstruir nuestros sueños y volver a llenar nuestros bolsillos. Este anuncio fue pagado y aprobado por Win Justice PAC, no autorizado por ningún candidato o comité de candidatos. Win Justice es responsable por el contenido de este anuncio.